Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Susan Marra with Dr. Marra's Medical Minutes. And today we're going to talk about how the spirochete evades the immune system. So, spirochetes are a very, very old organism. I think there's something like, 1 to 2 billion, maybe even more than that, years old. So they've been around on the planet for a long time, which means they've been very successful at getting their needs met. And one of the ways that they have evolved to avoid host immune detection is something called epitope, E-P-I-T-O-P-E, epitope switching. And epitope switching is when, if you think about a snake, okay, and a snake molts. Well, think about that. There are little indentations on the skin, and sometimes they have A, C, and D up. Other times they have B, D, and F up. Sometimes they have G, C, and D. And so they epitope switch, and it's a way that they stay camouflaged from the host immune system. It's very, very effective. Very smart way to stay, sort of out of the way of detection. I'm sure that there's other organisms that do this as well, but we know for sure that spirochetes behave in this manner. This is why on a Western blot, the epitopes that are most important are 18, 23, 30, 31, 34, 56 is, some people say yes, some people no, and 93. The band 41 is not specific to Lyme disease. Okay, it's not specific. It is seen in other organisms such as H. pylori. And basically it indicates that that organism has a flagella. And a flagella is like a tail. It helps it be motile in the blood. So 41 is not good enough to say that you have Lyme. But if you have 18, 23, 30, 31, 34, 56, and 93. I think I got them all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to reach from my files. You have for sure been exposed to the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. And so that's why it's really important to measure the antibodies. However, in terms of proving to an infectious disease or a law or a court of law, you need to do a PCR, polymerase chain reaction. The polymerase chain reaction actually documents that the DNA of Borrelia was found in your urine or blood, and it's not up for argument. It is or it isn't. It's a yes/no test. So epitope switching is the way that spirochetes avoid detection by the host immune system. It's very effective. And antibodies is one way to measure the immune response to the organism is one way to measure. And then another way is to use PCR. And these are both blood tests. So, I usually use the antibody test, but if I have to, like if I have a disgruntled father, or I have an attorney, or I have a doctor that doesn't believe me, oh yeah, I will use the PCR. PCR is hard to get though. It's very hard because these organisms live deep in the tissue. So you really have to really work it to get positive PCR. Sometimes a fish test fluorescent in situ hybridization test will do the trick. Um, so that also is a test that I use. When you have a fish test, that means you have a lot of organisms. That's when I see fish, I'm like, oh, that's not good. So anyway, so there's antibody tests, fish tests, and PCR tests. And, the organisms avoid the host immune system by epitope switching. And therefore, sometimes the antibodies will be 18, 30, 34. Another time they'll be 30, 31, 34, and 93. They'll change. And so it makes it difficult. So I hope you found this information helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.